Hello and welcome to Cynthia Rodia's YouTube channel. I am of course Cynthia Rodia and I am so excited to host you again today. If you are a returning subscriber, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for having subscribed and thank you for watching this yet again. If you are new and you have not subscribed, I urge you to please click on that subscribe button and have yourself a blast on my channel where I share real and authentic content. And yeah, I love this space, and I always say to myself when I started this journey that I am going to create my own platform. They're not going to give me a platform. So here I am, and I'm excited again to host you on this channel today. Today we're going to be talking about something really interesting, and a lot of people are probably going to come for me for this one, but hey, watch what's next. Going to be, should I say, controversial or touchy. A lot of people are going to be touched by this subject, but I feel like I need to share it, and this is my own point of view, my personal point of view. You're free to comment what you stand for, what you believe in, what you don't agree with, what you agree with, and you're also very free, very free to share this video to whoever, with whoever, on whichever platform you think will best granted the most exposure. So I also really appreciate all the likes and the comments that you have all been giving me. If you're watching this, just please also click on that like button. It improves and increases the chances of more people watching this video, and that way you can support me, and I really appreciate your support so far. So let me get right into it. So this is going on my segment called Diary of a Preacher's Kid. As you all know, preachers' kids are either doing really well spiritually, or they're like completely off course. And I have had both experiences. I have lived being completely on course and being completely off course in my Christian walk. Both my parents are pastors, as I've already explained in my first episode of Diary of a Pastor's Kid. And if you know me personally, you'll also know that my parents are pastors, very serious people of God. So it was really rough for me when I was like off course, because I knew deep down that something was wrong. But let's get into it. So today I want to talk about my journey as to why I stopped taking alcohol. I used to call it intoxicating liquor to make it sound cute, but really let's just call it alcohol. I'm not going to give you a lot of detail because I need to protect a lot of people that were with me during the time, but I will just try and give you as much as I can without revealing too much, and of course protecting the integrity of my personal space. Of course, I grew up, I started experimenting, right? So I started drinking. But the thing is, none of my parents ever drank in their past life. Like even before they met Christ, they accepted Christ as their personal savior, they never drank alcohol. It was really purely just peer pressure. Yes, it wasn't anything to do with genetics or anything. It was really just peer pressure. So I started drinking. I mean, everyone made it look so cool, and it was like the in thing, and if you're not doing it, then you don't know what you're doing with your life, right? So I thought I was a cool kid. I got involved and I started drinking, but the thing is, like, every time I would drink, I felt guilt. I felt like this is not where I belong. This is not what I'm supposed to do. Listen, disclaimer, I'm not here to judge anybody. If you're here and you love your alcohol, that's on you, boo. But I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just talking about my personal story. So every time I would take a drink, I'd feel like something is just wrong. Like I'm not supposed to do this. It's not part of my life. But I kept going on and I kept doing it. And I thought, that feeling will go away. It's kind of like... I almost made a joke, but I cannot do it on camera. I thought that the feeling would go away because, I mean, I just felt like it was an acquired taste and I just needed to go for it. And the more I do it, the less guilty I'd feel, the more comfortable I'd be, because my goal was I need to be as comfortable as everybody else is with this, because this is the in thing. If I'm not comfortable with it, then something is wrong with me, right? That's what I thought. So I went ahead and I did it and got really into it. I'm sorry to whoever is watching this and thought that I'm the holy child. Anyway, so my friend and I would always be like furniture in the club, like guys, like every weekend. I don't even know where we got the money. We would go with 50 rand, and get home sloshed. I don't know how we did it. I don't know if people are still doing that today, but like we did that because we were students, right? So yeah, that's what happened. I remember there was a time where like I just didn't get drunk anymore because that's how much alcohol I had in my system. I don't know why this fly is like around here ruining my video. Yeah, so like I said, you know, I just wouldn't get drunk anymore because I had that much alcohol in my system. I don't know if that's even, is that scientifically possible, or was I dying? So that's what happened. One time my body started deteriorating, and it started rejecting the alcohol because I was drinking that much. And people wouldn't notice because for most times I could really handle my liquor. Most times, I think 1 or 2 occasions I didn't, and I learned from those. But then, you know, this time around, you would not be able to tell that I was intoxicated. I could be like intoxicated, like to the point of like dropping dead. My body started rejecting alcohol. Every time I would drink, I would get sick. I would just get sick. And so I slowly just started losing interest. So I remember this one time I was sitting with my friend, was it in her place or my place? I think mine. And she was like, we looked at each other, we had a moment of silence, and we looked at each other and we were like, bruh, why are we even doing this? Like, why are we even doing this? Like, it's not even necessary to be doing this. And it was just like a moment. I felt like someone was praying for me, or I felt like God had just visited me in that moment. And I just like had this realization that I lost my life to alcohol. Like, I lost out on so many opportunities. I just became a different person because of alcohol. Because you know what alcohol does? I don't know if it does that to a lot of other people, but what it did to me was that it would open my spirit up to receiving anything. You just and I remember I was dealing with a lot of battles around that time, a lot of battles, and I realized what alcohol does is it opens up your spirit, right, to receive so many other things that are around you. Because remember, in your conscious state of mind, when you are sober and you're conscious and you're like consciously sober and you're sober, you sort of like protect your energy. And because of your belief system, there are some things that you won't allow to penetrate through your spirit. There are some things, like even people that you won't allow to speak into your life. When you are intoxicated, you have less control over that, and so more things can enter you. That's why you see a lot of people that are involved with a lot of alcohol deal with a lot of internal battles and internal issues. Again, I am not judging. This is my personal subjective observation, so please don't come to me, don't come for me. I'm just telling you from my personal point of view. So it opens your soul up to receive, or your spirit up to receive so many things, and you don't know, you don't have particular control over what you allow in and what you allow out. So when you become sober, you've already allowed these things into your spirit, and then you, even if you didn't want to, you didn't have that much control over it. And so now when you're sober, you deal with so much hurt, and I don't understand why. Like, I would drink and we'd think like we'd have, you know, the best time, we were happy all the time, but then after the fact, like when you're sober, you feel guilty, you feel shame, you feel, not because you did anything, you just feel guilt and you feel shame, and you feel like, but why did I do that? Why did I spend so much money? Why did I choose to go drink instead of, you know, doing this for myself or choosing this for myself? Why didn't I invest that time in something more productive? And so what it does is, because like the first few drinks will feel like, oh, you're having a great time, you continue doing it and you continue doing it, but it actually opens up your soul. That is why a lot of people like do things that they wouldn't do in their sober state when they are drunk, because alcohol opens you up to these things. Like, you know what you're doing. By the way, sometimes you really know what you're doing, but you don't have control over it. That's why a lot of decisions, if you ask people, what do you regret most in your life? A lot of the decisions might be, or are most probably, I'd say 75-85% based on a situation where they were intoxicated, or they were at a party and other people were intoxicated. So yeah, that's one thing. I also want to give you, okay, I'll tell you that towards the end. So I started realizing this about myself, that why is it that I can never like be happy, like really, really genuinely happy from within after a night of drinking or a drinking spree? Why is it that my friendships are now based on, drinking alcohol and all of these things? Why is it that I cannot achieve what I want to achieve, after a night of drinking? And I realized this is not helping me. This is destroying me. This is taking away from me. Because what alcohol does is it becomes a priority in your life. The more you invest in it, the more it wants you to invest in it. You'd find that end of the month, people have like an alcohol budget, and the alcohol budget is sometimes even above the grocery list. Congratulations if you have not reached that level yet, and I hope that you do not reach that level. But that's what alcohol also does. So it makes itself a priority in your life. Hey, let's go out with a group of friends. Is there going to be alcohol? No. Ugh, then I'm not coming. So I think it just messes with the priorities, and it creates like this dependency thing. Now you have to depend on alcohol to create a nice vibe or to set the mood. Like, you come gloomy into a space, and only once you have a drink, you're like, hey, I'm happy. So again, your happiness, I deliberately put that in inverted commas, depends on having intoxicating liquor in your body. I don't even want to get into the negative health issues that alcohol may bring into your life. We're not going to talk about that now. We can Google that. I'm sure we know that. But I want to talk about the spiritual aspect and just the life aspect, what alcohol does to you. So I really hope that if you're watching this, that you don't feel judged or condemned or like you're doing something wrong in your life. I want you to hear from somebody that experienced that. I really don't like to judge people because I've been there. I know what it's like. I started realizing that alcohol does more bad for me than good. I would just regret it every time. I would just regret it. And what it does is, once you start taking alcohol, this is very important. Once you start taking alcohol, you feel like you have achieved everything. You're on top of the world. Everything is good. And for a couple of moments, for a couple of months, maybe years, things may be going really great for you, until boom, it hits you. You cannot live without alcohol anymore. You cannot survive without it. It becomes a priority, and it tops all your goals. So every decision you make will be based on alcohol. I need to do this so that I can get alcohol. I can't wait for Friday so that I can have alcohol. So you don't even perform properly where you are anymore. Sometimes you don't perform at your level best because you're just looking forward to, I need a drink, I need Friday to come. For some people, it comes to that point. But for other people, you're still in the stage of, and I was there, of, I can handle my liquor. I don't drink, during this time. I don't drink during that time. And that's great. I love that you have control over your life to that extent. What I'm simply doing is I'm just sharing different stages. I was at that stage of, I don't need to drink. Then I came to the stage of 1 drink per day. It's fine. And then I came to the stage of 1 bottle per day. It affects people differently. But I'm telling you now, just look at your life and think about, what is alcohol doing for me that will help me achieve what I need to achieve? What is alcohol doing for me to help me be the person that I need to be? I asked myself those questions, and I mean, when I decided to leave it, I remember like it wasn't like instant. I remember like getting sick. I would get sick after taking alcohol. I think someone was praying for me. I would just get sick and I just wouldn't, my body would just reject it and I would just be done and I just wouldn't have interest anymore. I felt like there was something else that I needed to do with my life. I felt like there was something deeper and not just the surface level of just having a good time, drinking alcohol, but I needed to go deeper and find the real true meaning of why I'm here. Long story short, I almost died from alcohol. My body just couldn't take it anymore. And I, I just said, I'm done. I remember making a promise to God and I said, God, I'm gonna leave drinking alcohol. And when I leave, I know that you have the most amazing man for me that I know I will be able to build a great life with. I always knew that I was destined for marriage. I always knew that my purpose was to love and to be loved. That's what I knew. And I knew that for me to be that person, I needed to step away from this thing that opened my spirit up to receiving just anything. And I needed to come to a place where I now guard my heart, guard my soul, guard my spirit, and only allow the things inside of me that would help me be the person that I am becoming today. So yeah, that is part of why I left alcohol. Being a pastor's kid is very difficult because you come to a point where you just want to rebel everything to do with the church and the word of God. You want to rebel against, and to be honest, once you grow up and grow out of it, the peace is actually where you're running from. The peace is in God. The peace is in Jesus. And I'm so grateful to have found that at this young age. Because if I hadn't, I don't know where I would have been right now. I probably would have delayed my existing in my purpose. I probably would have lost my life. Probably would have lost so many more opportunities. I'm just grateful for, having surrendered my life or redirected my life, rededicated my life back to Jesus and what he stands for. And I'm just happy to be the person that I am. So if you know me, you know that I stand for love, kindness, happiness. I'm still very vibey, but of course, without the alcohol, I just feel like I don't need it. And I'm so excited. So if you're watching this and you need somebody to talk to, if you're dealing with the struggles of alcohol, please reach out to somebody that can help you. I can lead you to the relevant people. If you need a psychologist, I can refer you. If you need a life coach, I can help you, or I can refer you. It's all about helping one another. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever it is that you need to do to show me some loving. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. Do the right thing and subscribe. I really need your subscribing clicks. So thanks again, and I cannot wait to show you the next video. I do have a surprise for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Ciao.